What's up, Bears fans? Lots to get into on today's show, including the latest injury news heading into this matchup against the Baltimore Ravens. But first, we're closing in on 36,500 subscribers. Come on, we can get there before kickoff on Sunday. Spread the word. Hit that sub button if you haven't already. It's youtube.com/BearsNow. And with that being said, let's go ahead and jump on into today's video. Welcome into Chicago Bears Now. I am your host, Harrison Graham, for today's show, for every show, because I am the guy on YouTube when it comes to the Bears. Some news to get into, but first, let's talk about Matt Nagy. He loves the No Fun League, doesn't he? I'm sure you guys have seen this, but if not, we're here to break it down, because he recently defended the new taunting rules that have been implemented and enforced heavily this year. Of course, Cassius Marsh was fined just over $5,000 for his taunt against the Steelers. You know, jogs 2 steps toward the Steelers and looks at their bench, and apparently that's taunting, and a 15-yard penalty and a $5,000 fine, because that's how the NFL operates in 2021. And, of course, you could argue that cost the Bears that game, but that's neither here nor there, especially for Matt Nagy, who's on the hot seat and riding a 4-game losing streak. Why would he have wanted that penalty to not happen and potentially have won that game? Makes no sense. Here's what Nagy had to say. People watch, and people want to see a little bit of respect and a little bit of doing things the right way. Doesn't mean you can't have fun, but there's young kids right now that are watching games, and what happens is you go to one of these sporting events, and you might see some imitation going on that's taking it over the top. I'm a firm believer in respect and just kids growing and watching, and we have a huge platform as leaders, players, and coaches. Let's understand what the rules are. Let's do it the right way. Let's still have fun. These guys are still having fun and not taunting. You can still have a great time, but let's stay within the rules as we do it. This rule and Matt Nagy are so damn exhausting. This shit is so tiresome at this point. Like, this rule benefits no one. Taunting is for losers, okay? Like, and let me just say this as well. Are there certain things within the rule of taunting that it's like, okay, that player probably went too far? But 90% of them are like the guy said something quick to the player he sacked, or the guy stares down an opposing team. How is that good for the game to give that person a 15-yard penalty and a $5,000 fine? It's not like Cassius Marsh sacked Ben Roethlisberger, stepped over him, and shoved him to the ground when he was trying to get back up. That's different. Jogging 3 feet towards the Steelers bench, a team that cut him earlier in the year, and staring him down after making a massive play, that's not a penalty. That's an embarrassment that this league is enforcing this. And to fine him, that was criminal by the National Football League. And for Matt Nagy and these other coaches and owners to defend this crap, it's just an absolute joke. We got to teach our kids better. You know what I'm going to teach my kid? Hey, if you make a hell of a play, don't go too far. But yeah, you can stare at your opponent and be like, yeah, MFer, I just made a good play on you, so yeah, suck it. If you're tired of this crap, type FN for Fire Nagy. Maybe don't say, yeah, suck it. I'm not going to teach that to my kids. But the point is, you can celebrate big plays. It's okay. You play for 3.5 hours, you make the play of the season, and you get penalized. It's an absolute joke. If you're tired of this crap, if you're tired of Matt Nagy, type FN in the chat. I'll make this the pinned comment. So reply to the pinned comment during this YouTube ad break. Just type FN. Let's get to the latest on the injury report. We'll start with Khalil Mack. He did not practice on Wednesday as he continues to battle that foot injury. He, of course, has not played since Week 7 in that loss to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Nagy, my favorite coach, Matt Nagy, had said earlier in the week that he was hopeful that Khalil would be able to return to action this week. Now, just because he's not practicing doesn't mean he won't give it a go on Sunday. We saw before these last 2 games that he's missed. He wasn't practicing then either, but he was able to strap it up on Sunday, so I'm still hopeful-ish that he'll be able to play against the Baltimore Ravens. He's obviously been tremendous when he has played this year. In 7 games, he has 6 sacks. He's been an absolute force for this Bears defense when he's been available, but Obviously, the last 2 games he has not been available, and I think it's pretty safe to say that the Chicago Bears, without Khalil Mack, have not been the same defense. I mean, they have clearly missed Khalil Mack the past couple of games. Hopefully this bye week has allowed him and others to rest up and be able to, make a push for this second half of the season to get healthy and to get back to playing good defense. Because you look at this depth chart, you really haven't seen a guy like Travis Gibson splash in Khalil Mack's absence. We just haven't really been able to do those type of things. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see if Khalil can give it a go, and that would certainly help, especially setting the edge against a guy like Lamar Jackson. Guys, the holidays are here, and it's about time to start buying those Christmas presents for others, or hell, for yourself. Maybe you live by yourself and you just want to treat yourself. This Bears hoodie right now, guys, is on sale for 40% off. Usually it's $70. Right now it's $41.99. Use our link below, chatsports.com/Bears hoodie. We've got that link in the live chat. It's chatsports.com/Bears hoodie. I know it's getting cold in Chicago. You want to warm up? Get this sweet hoodie with the classic old school logo as well. 40% off for a limited time only. Don't wait until closer to Christmas because this 40% off will probably go away. Chatsports.com/Bears hoodie. Go ahead and get yourself this hoodie right now. Okay, let's talk Eddie Jackson as well, who missed Wednesday's practice. He's been dealing with that hamstring injury. Suffered that injury in Week 8. Missed the following game against Pittsburgh, of course. His status against the Ravens is also up in the air, right? I mean, hamstring injuries, you look at it, this Sunday would be right at 3 weeks. That's kind of what you're talking about. You're talking usually 2 to 4 weeks with a standard hamstring injury, which is, I believe, what Eddie Jackson has. DeAndre Houston-Carson has played okay in his absence. I actually like what DHC has been able to do this year. Deshaun Gibson played okay against Pittsburgh, but there's no doubt that regardless of Eddie Jackson's inconsistent play, they would much rather have him out there than either Gibson or THC. I think that's safe to say, even though he's been a frustrating player to say the least. So we'll see if Khalil Mack, if Eddie Jackson, if these guys can get out there this Sunday, because you need as many reinforcements as you can when going up against a team like Baltimore, who's pissed off after their loss to the Miami Dolphins. Who you got in that matchup? Type B for the Bears, type R for the Baltimore Ravens. Get your votes in right now. Bears coming off a bye week, and you're probably thinking, oh, that's good news, right? No, they've lost 7 in a row coming off a bye. Who do you attest that to? Coaching. That's what I would say on that one. So B for Bears, R for Ravens. Who you got in this week's matchup? Other players that didn't practice on Wednesday, we'll see what happens later today. Allen Robinson, Jimmy Graham, who had his normal rest day off, which coming off a bye week, we're still giving Jimmy Graham Wednesday off, I guess so. Elijah Wilkinson dealing with the back, Akiem Hicks with an ankle that he suffered against Pittsburgh, and then Danny Trevathan with that knee issue. It looks like Damian Williams could be returning, which I think he's probably RB3 at this point, right, behind Montgomery and Khalil Herbert, but some depth there. Darnell Mooney, he's kind of been a limited participant during practice all year long. I fully expect him to play. We'll see if the Bears get Alec Ogletree back this week as well. So let's talk about this Week 11 matchup just a little bit more. This is an interesting one. The Ravens were 6.5-point favorites. That line has shifted 2 points in the last couple of days in Chicago's favor. Baltimore only 4.5-point favorites now. Bears coming off a bye, albeit lost 7 straight in that scenario at home. Ravens have been, inconsistent at times. I think there's an opportunity for the Bears to win this game, and let's be honest, if you want any hope of the playoffs, you can't fall to 3-7. So 3 quick keys to victory, and then we will sign off on today's show. Limit Lamar Jackson's runs. And this is really a key every time any team faces Baltimore, right, is while Lamar can beat you from the pocket, you'll take your chances there. You look at the passing numbers this year, good but not special, 64.5%, 2,400 yards, 14-8 TD interception ratio. I think you'd much rather live with him throwing it 30, 35, 40 times a game because we know how dangerous of a runner he is. 639 yards, 2 touchdowns, 6 yards per carry. He's so dynamic once he gets loose. So I think quarterback spy will be very possible. This is a big Roquan Smith type of game to make sure the Ravens' run game doesn't get loose. Number 2, on the flip side, get your run game going. David Montgomery, let's establish him. He should be 100% healthy at this point, played in that Pittsburgh game, but now he got an extra week of rest coming off that knee sprain earlier in the year. I'd like to get him 100 yards, 20 carries in this game. I think that's probably something I would shoot for if I was Chicago. Sprinkling a little bit of Khalil Herbert as well, but Monty is still RB1 for a reason, and I think this could be a big game for him. And Baltimore's run defense has been susceptible at times. Then number 3, while I want the run game to get going, continue to let Fields shine. You don't need to protect this kid. Let him cut it loose, which I think the Bears, kind of the last game and a half, 2 games, have started to let him do. Just play his brand of football. Obviously, the raw numbers of the entire season don't really jump out at you, but his last 2 games against San Francisco and Pittsburgh, we've seen a confident quarterback, a cool quarterback, a calm quarterback, a player that has made big plays in big moments and has taken chances downfield with a high success rate. So continue to do those things while also remaining balanced with David Montgomery. So there you go, 3 quick keys to victory to pull off the minor upset against Baltimore at home. Predict the score: Bears, Ravens, 3-6 versus 6-3. Let me know who's going to win and what the score is going to be. And we, of course, will see you on Sunday for a live watch party, so subscribe, and we'll see you soon.